Yeah. You know what? Speaking of which, suspicious, lawmakers strike a deal to provide nearly $14 billion with a billion in wartime aid to Ukraine. They pulled $14 billion out of their couch like it was a dollar bill. $14 billion out of nowhere like that. I'm gonna wake my wife up. 14 billion. Because, you know, I talked about this before, and they had started at 10. When I saw the 14, I was like, oh my goodness. They got another 4 billion from when I first saw the proposal. 14 billion. Suspicious by nature. How about they spend some of that on the border? I don't know if a wall works or not. I hear a wall would work, and I used to really frown on the wall idea. But some people who I respect say a wall would make sense in certain areas, whatever. I trust the experts, whoever. But yeah, that money on securing the border in general, my goodness. Can you believe that? And the way that they're going to do this is through this omnibus package. Oh no. Oh Lord. We're doing this omnibus thing again. You wonder why I support Marjorie Taylor Greene. She's not for this kind of stuff. Thomas Massey, they're not for this kind of stuff. There's only a few of them in D.C. that aren't for this. Mitch McConnell, let me see if I have a clip here. Mitch McConnell was acting indignant too. Listen to him gloat about this $14 billion, like it was too hard to get.
Well, let me start by saying if I were the majority leader, we'd be on the Ukraine supplemental right now. It's been challenging to get our Democratic colleagues to do what I believe the Ukrainians need at this particular point.
What the Ukrainians need now. As far as the citizens getting out of there, that it is kind of complicated. My take on that, though, because I want to support them. I heard Leonardo DiCaprio. I think he dropped $10 million allegedly that I saw in support. I think his grandmother or somebody is a relative, so he has ties. So but the balance is, I tweeted this, and I know not everybody liked it, but it is a possibility. Ukraine can surrender. That's a possibility, right? And I don't know. I'm not pretending to know I'm not privy to everything. I'm just saying I know for a fact that's a possibility. So people try to, peg you like, you don't know this, you don't know that. I do know for a fact they can surrender. They could say, hey, we're done. We're surrendering. We don't want any more lives lost. So at that point, for them to choose to fight, and that's their prerogative. I'm not saying what they should or shouldn't do. I'm just saying that's a possibility that no one's talking about. So these lives of the citizens, who are they on? If you choose not to surrender, and this is war. I mean, this happened. I'm not saying Putin is right. It doesn't matter. For me, I'm an American. The only right or wrong I want to worry about is what is our reaction. And dropping $14 billion is not a good answer. That's a wrong. I don't care if Putin's right or wrong. I don't care if Zelensky's right or wrong. I don't care. So I don't know who that's on. And this whole $14 billion is not going to helping refugees. I'll talk about that in a second. But you hear how Mitch McConnell's indignant, like, man, it shouldn't have been this hard to get this $14 billion for the Ukrainians. Damn it, Mitch, we got problems here. You remember a while back, they said they didn't have $4 billion for the wall. They're letting you know what they think of you. You don't have to guess. Do these look like people who care about you? That give a damn about you? Kentucky, you should be embarrassed. You should be. I don't want to hear anything. If you're in Kentucky, I don't want to hear from you until you fix that. I just remember watching his debates the other day. He just got re-upped. For 6 years. The Senate is no joke. Take a look at this bill. 2,700 pages. The $14 billion is a part of this $1.5 trillion where they put all this pork and nonsense in it. They released this. Lawmakers released this. What lawmakers released this? Does anybody know? I don't know that. So lawmakers released this, and they only had hours to read it. It's not possible. What was hidden in there? Who's really writing this stuff? Who knows what's all in there? They had hours to read a 2,700-page bill. This isn't Lord of the Rings. This isn't fun reading. I know half of them are lawyers, but this isn't something you can just skim through. We can't keep doing this. We don't trust you. This has to stop. Half the aid will go to arm Ukraine. No, I'm not for that. No. They can put their arms down. Russia allegedly, this is by Reuters, I did a video on it, they allegedly had terms that were, in my opinion, legit terms to say that allegedly they said we'll drop arms if you meet these terms. And none of them that I saw hurt America. And I'm not pretending to know everything. If there's something I'm missing, my congressman, anybody in D.C. can make the case. I haven't heard it yet. Mitch was up there talking about $14 billion. He didn't make a case for why I should care. He never said why we're even over there. Well, as far as troops, we're not fighting, but troops over there, money over there. What's the case to me, Mitch? So I don't see a case. You haven't made a case to me. So where's the case? Half the money will go to Ukraine. It's money laundering. That's what it is. Half the money will go to Ukraine. So it's going to be some of it humanitarian assistance for the 2 million refugees. Other half of the money is earmarked for deploying U.S. troops to NATO countries bordering Ukraine, including Poland. So we've got more people defending their borders than our own. You see why they hate Trump? Like, he started that movement. You see why they hate Trump? They woke me up to, Trump was a big part of it, then the pandemic, and now I'm a 44-year-old black man watching Nick Fuentes on a regular basis. A guy who doesn't believe in interracial marriage, and I have a white wife. And I'm listening to Nick Fuentes, and 90% of the stuff he's saying, I'm like, word? I'm like, okay. I'm like, I can't argue with that. When he gets into race, it's like, it's a little cringe, but it's marketing. He's a master marketer. He's got his demographics. But my point is, that's why they hate it. Because now they've got me like, I'm clearly America first. This is not America first. We've got all kinds of dirt going on in Ukraine with Biden and his son. Come on, man. I gotta clip the Biden "come on, man" because I use that a lot too. Let me know what you think.